I want someone to love me. I need.
I don't care what a person does to you. You don't have the right to take her life. You don't have.
Y'all know the couple? The ones you screenshot and send with no caption because the caption is just them. Matching outfits, vacation videos, dance clips with thousands of people hitting replay saying, "That's exactly what I want." To everybody watching, they were solid. They were goals. They were the real thing. But listen, what the camera showed and what was actually going on underneath it, two completely different things. And by the time anybody figured that out, it was already too late. Before I get into this one, go ahead and like this video, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss the next case. Because girl, this one is gonna sit with you. Let me tell you about Winter Nicole Strong. Columbia, South Carolina, that's home. That's where she grew up, where she went to Columbia High School, and where she decided to plant herself and build something, instead of running off to find life somewhere else. She enrolled at Allen University, suited up as number 32 on the women's basketball team, and became part of history. The team that brought home Allen University's first ever women's basketball championship. Her coach, Jason James, called her a dynamic player, somebody who carried weight on that court without anybody having to ask her twice. In 2020, she graduated with her degree in social science pre-law concentration. Make it make sense. This woman already had law school mapped out. She knew exactly where she was headed. While she was at Allen, she also crossed into Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Gamma Pi chapter, and she wore that membership the same way she wore everything else in her life, fully and without apology. After graduation, she did not slow down. She went and completed extra training, then took a position as a mental health officer at the South Carolina Department of Corrections, specifically Broad River Correctional Institute. And let me be clear, that is not an easy job. That's walking into a facility every single day, sitting with people in some of the darkest moments of their lives, and doing it with a steady hand. Her co-workers said she brought real, genuine care into that building every time she walked through the door. Made heavy days feel lighter just by being present. She was a mother, a daughter, a sister, and online? Baby, she had a whole following. TikTok mostly, dances, travel clips, everyday life. Funny, direct, completely herself on camera, never performing, just living out loud and letting people watch. March 29th was coming up, her 26th birthday. And she'd already told her followers she was about to celebrate like she meant it. Now let's talk about Renardo Johnson, 27 years old. By everybody's account, he was the quiet one, the one in the background, the one Winter would reach back and pull into frame. In the videos they made together, he came off easygoing, calm, a little reserved, smiling while she danced, following her lead. That was always Winter's energy driving things, and he just moved with it. Together, they'd been building something for years, long enough that people watching online had real opinions about them as a couple. The comments called them goals. People said that's exactly the kind of love they wanted for themselves one day. They did holiday shoots, couple challenges, the whole nine, the kind of content that only comes from two people who are actually comfortable with each other. So what happened? Moving on, because in August 2022, Winter was in a serious car accident. And Renardo did not leave her side. He stayed right there at that bedside. To the people around them, that meant something. That's not something you do for just anybody unless the connection is real. But hey, here's the thing, y'all. Once everything happened, people went back through Winter's old posts and some of them read a whole lot different in hindsight than they did the day she posted them. Okay, so let's get into it. Because once this story ended, people went back and started connecting dots that nobody thought twice about at the time. Winter had posted about getting excited to go through Renardo's phone. She posted about being on her way to accuse him of cheating because she was bored. There was even a caption about how he should be grateful for what she hadn't done to him. And reportedly, a video about what went down after he called the police on her. Now I want y'all to sit with that for a second, because that right there, that's not random. That's a woman who had started monitoring, testing, looking for confirmation of something she already felt in her gut but couldn't prove yet. And that kind of anxiety in a relationship, it doesn't come from nowhere, y'all. It grows in the space between what you're pouring into somebody and what's actually coming back to you. From what came through in their shared content, Renardo wasn't always fully present the way Winter needed him to be. There were moments where he seemed to be in the relationship without being fully committed to it. And that gap between where she was emotionally and where he actually was, that's where the tension was living the whole time. She even posted a cute couple's video set to one of those viral challenges, laughed about it in the caption. Her followers laughed right along with her, but underneath that laugh, those posts were doing a lot more work than anybody clocked at the time. Then January 2023 rolled around and something showed up publicly that most people just scrolled right past. On January 5th, Winter posted this to her Facebook. My motto lately been, do what makes you happy. I've been telling everybody this. I don't have the fight that any of y'all looking for, honestly. The very next day, she posted again, I have to learn that sometimes things end, and that's okay. You just have to wish everybody peace and blessings on their journeys. 2 posts, same direction. Less than 3 months before everything changed for good. She wasn't making a scene about it, wasn't publicly reaching out for help. She was working through something quietly, in plain sight, the way people do when they're sitting with something real and haven't decided what to do about it yet. At the time, people scrolled past. In hindsight, those 2 posts read like a woman trying to make peace with an ending she could already feel coming, whether she was talking about the relationship directly or not. Only she really knew. What those posts do make clear is this. By January 2023, Winter was already sitting with the idea of things ending, of moving on, of wishing people well on roads she wasn't planning to keep walking with them on. By the time March came around, something between them had reached a place neither one of them could step back from. March 26th, 2023, approximately 6 o'clock in the evening. Richland County Sheriff's deputies got the call. Shots fired at an apartment complex on the 700 block of Mallet Hill Road, Northeast Columbia. When deputies got there, they found Winter. She had been shot outside the building. Every effort was made to save her right there on scene. She did not survive. Renardo was identified as the suspect. He had gone back into that apartment after it happened and locked himself inside. And here's the part that made everything even more urgent. Deputies were alerted that a child was reportedly inside that apartment too. That changed the whole tempo of the response. Deputies set up a perimeter around the building. The negotiation team made contact with Renardo and kept that line of communication open for almost 3 hours, working to bring him out peacefully. 3 hours of trying to talk a man down while a community held its breath outside. Then, around 9 o'clock that night, he stopped responding. A short while later, when deputies finally went in, they found Renardo unresponsive. He was rushed to a nearby hospital. He did not survive. No trial, no courtroom, no moment where the people who loved Winter got to sit across a room from him and demand a straight answer. Whatever Renardo was carrying into that apartment that evening, it ended with him. Now, here's the thing about this case, y'all. There wasn't a long, drawn-out investigation chasing down a suspect who ran. Deputies were on scene fast, the situation was contained to that apartment, and the person responsible never left the building. So what investigators were left with wasn't a manhunt, it was trying to understand why. And that why doesn't live in a police report, it lives in the posts Winter left behind. The excitement about going through his phone, the accusations, the caption about what he should be grateful she hadn't done. That January post about learning that sometimes things end. Investigators, reporters, and Winter's own family all ended up looking at the same digital trail, trying to piece together a picture of a relationship that looked one way to millions of strangers online and felt like something else entirely to the two people actually living it. Her mother, LaShawn Williams, said it plainly. There were no visible signs, nothing that would have made anybody pick up the phone and say something's wrong. No black eyes, no red flags anybody could point to and say, there, that's when we should have known. That's what makes this so hard for the people left behind. There wasn't a warning they missed. There just wasn't one they could see. There's no arrest to speak of here, and no trial either. Renardo didn't survive the night. So there was never a courtroom, never testimony, never a moment where Winter's family got to sit across from him and demand a real answer to the only question that mattered. Whatever happened between them in that apartment, whatever Renardo was carrying with him when he went back inside and locked that door, all of it ended with him. No jury ever heard it, no judge ever ruled on it. The silence just stayed. If this case has kept you hooked, you'll definitely want to watch the next one on your screen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. 2 days after Winter was killed, people came back to that same parking lot on Mallet Hill Road. They brought candles. They wore purple. Her coach came. Her co-workers from the Department of Corrections came. People who'd watched her online for years but never met her in person showed up too, because that's how real her presence was, even through a screen. A year later, on March 26, 2024, her co-workers at Broad River gathered again to remember her. They dedicated a purple bench in her name, not just as a memorial, but as a marker, a way of saying they hadn't moved past her the way a news cycle does. LaShawn didn't go quiet after losing her daughter. She turned that grief outward and started using her voice to raise awareness for situations just like this one. The kind where nothing looks wrong from the outside until it's already too late to fix. So let me leave y'all with this. Winter Strong had everything mapped out. Law school, her daughter, a career helping people the world had already given up on, and from the outside, a relationship everybody called goals. But the truth is, you can't always see what's really going on between two people, no matter how much they post, no matter how solid it looks online. Stay observant. Trust your gut when something feels off, even when you can't put your finger on why. And check in on the people you love, not just when they're posting the highlight reel, but in between too. That's Winter's story. I'll see y'all in the next one.